I can only hope. Man, that's a shiny head right there. Shaved it this morning. Look at that. Mm-hmm.
You should have foregone the armor all.
I didn't use
Welcome to
all.
T.D.G.S. Sports. We are officially back. We apologize for that long hiatus, but man, has a lot of things been going off in the sports world. And I would love to sit here and talk about soccer and getting toilet paper for all the crap that Eazy-E's been talking. But it is football. That's football season.
So
and
wait a
not
minute.
not football. We're talking about football, a real man sport. The sport that real men play.
Wait a minute. So that means that we're not going to talk about my Braves winning 7 straight games. We're not going to talk about E's Cubs winning 4 straight games, nor are we going to address the Dodgers' 6-game losing streak, right?
No, there is not
any of that, right? Okay.
There is not enough. There is not enough blue moons in this world to get me to talk about that.
Okay, all right. Well, let me take a sip of a mango cart here and let everybody know that
let us know.
Cubs swept the Dodgers in a 3-game series, and they just knocked off the Blue Jays yesterday. So that's it. You guys are 4-0 in games against World Series teams last year, man. So the Cubs are awakened from their slumber, because we know bears hibernate. So I guess now they're awake and they're ready to go.
And mind you, there were what 3-4 Cy Young awards amongst all these pitchers that we beat in all these games, plus candidates that were finished. We're here. We're back.
Well, to be settled in October when you inevitably clash with my Braves in a playoff series. Unfortunately, well, Sale won the Cy Young last year, but he's not a candidate this year. Not really, I don't think. So we should be okay.
But he's still a candidate this year.
Yeah. All right. That was all for Justin, who has a one-track mind and still thinks that Vince Lombardi is coaching the Packers.
And for those that want to bring the toilet paper, bring it back on, because MVP is going to win it this year. We have a new dethroned Ohtani, as Pete Crow Armstrong will be the National League MVP this year.
I'm sure Ohtani.
I said it. Yes, I said it. I'm calling it out right now.
I'm sure Ohtani's betting on it right now too.
Oh man, I don't know how to interpret what you just said, but I think there might have been a double meaning there. Yeah, that's the mic drop right there, boys.
Yeah. All right. Speaking of betting, for those of you betting on UT this year, the question is: will Arch Manning take ownership of his failed season last year and live up to whatever the Manning name is at this point? Or will he have another failed season? Now, people in the locker room say Arch Manning is this new inspired quarterback, and he even went and talked to the very best quarterbacks that UT has to offer. His name was Colt McCoy. Colt McCoy.
Hey, okay, look here. Look,
some conversation.
Colt McCoy was a good quarterback. He just did not have a body for the NFL. That's what it came down to. He couldn't stay healthy for more than 3 games. That was the problem with Colt McCoy.
Well, after he got knocked out that one game.
Well, which game?
Like about the UT, that one big one at UT. I think it was by Texas Tech, the Red Raiders. Who's that linebacker?
Colt McCoy or Arch Manning?
No, Colt McCoy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I thought you were talking about the many times he got knocked out in the NFL.
No, well, that you can add on to that. But I think after that first one in college, it just turned into a regular thing at that point.
Well,
where are we at?
College quarterbacks is not NFL quarterbacks.
Right.
You could be same thing with the running backs. The game is completely different. It's a different speed. You're playing against bigger, stronger athletes. They're coming at you at a faster pace. If there's no holding 2-3 seconds, the biggest thing that a college quarterback needs when they come, it's not the skill set, it's the mentality. And if they don't understand how to adapt their game and change that speed, that mental count, that quick release, that they need to go from holding the ball 3 seconds to 2.5 seconds to 2 seconds, whatever the quick release is, and be able to maintain their skill set. Because there's quarterbacks that need that 3 seconds. They don't have it in the NFL. That's why they have a hard time converting from they're bringing their skill set from the college football to the NFL, because they can't transition, and it's not their skill set. It's actually they don't have that timing. They don't know how to change, how to adjust that timing, because it's play that faster at a faster pace. And if they don't know how to slow that down, they will not adjust. That's where I'm intrigued to see how well Mendoza is going to adjust, because they're building everything around him. But if he cannot adjust his mentality against or his mental attitude and be able to adjust, Caleb Williams was able to adjust last year. Because Caleb Williams was one that held the ball for 3 seconds forever. Last year, he had good coaching. He progressed a lot last year because he was able to adjust his game without losing his skill set. He was able to adjust his timing to release the ball a lot quicker and be able and he continues to make those adjustments. That's why he can still have that success in the NFL, that transition. A lot of quarterbacks can never adjust.
And also the other thing is, you got to remember, throwing the ball in the NFL, shrink those windows by about 30% that you have to throw through. Also,
right.
Yeah.
You got to
Accuracy and accuracy too.
And I think that's something with Arch Manning, who he just doesn't. He needs those windows like ginormous, right? And so I think the question is, though, if he were to crack down right now and play really well this upcoming season, would the most we could get out of Arch Manning in the NFL would be, say, an Eli Manning?
You mean 2 Super Bowl rings?
No,
Well,
I think he would be okay with that.
Listen, that last Super Bowl ring, okay, we just got to say it. We got to admit it that he needs to be thanking Brett Favre. So right next to that trophy he has, he needs to have a bust of Brett Favre that says,
you know, everybody talks about Eli Manning with the Super Bowl. I look at his career, and honestly, his career was basically mediocre. When you look at
Super Bowl MVP.
He had, okay, I understand. He had 2 Super Bowl MVPs. Look at the rest of his career. He didn't have a winning season at the rest of the time. So you have 10 seasons, 14 seasons in the NFL. You had twice that you made it to the playoffs. You had good runs because you had good defensive teams. You have good rapport with your receivers. Yeah, you made it to the Super Bowl. You were the underdog. You were kind of a little bit lucky to win because there were some lucky plays there. Come on now. There were some really lucky plays that you made it through. You won the Super Bowl, yes, twice. But what about the next year? How many times did he make it to the playoffs? How many times did he win the division? How many winning seasons did he have as a quarterback?
Well, let's look at how many Hall of Famers were on that Giants roster. I mean, there was Michael Strahan, and what's the drop-off after that? I mean, where are your running backs? Where were your great receivers? There are no great receivers on that team.
But they had a great defense.
Yeah.
They had a really good defensive team. And we all know that defense is what's going to look at the Ravens. Who did they win the Super Bowl with twice? Joe Flacco and Trent Dilfer.
Trent Dilfer, right?
Okay, there you go.
Run game. Good defense.
But they had great defense that would shut you down and give you a chance. Come on, they had a great defense. They shut down the Patriots. The Patriots with Randy Moss. Even though Randy Moss was probably 150 years old when he played them, but
I'm gonna be controversial here though.
Records that year, and they almost went undefeated.
Yeah,
so that was a great year for the Patriots.
It was a great year for the Patriots. but their defense kept them in the game, gave them a chance, and they had that miraculous catch against the helmet. So they had luck involved. It was not pure skill set. Like they didn't outplay offensively. They didn't outplay the Patriots. It was a defense that shut down basically the Patriots, and they had some lucky plays on offense. And
again, I'll hold to it that 2009 season they got that Super Bowl that they had it not been for Brett Favre, they would not have gotten past the Packers, and they would not.
How is it that you always mix up the Packers and everything?
Because this is what I'm saying. That Giants, Eli Manning getting that second Super Bowl, had it not been for Brett Favre essentially throwing the defense the ball, right? And we can admit that the Giants would not have gotten that Super Bowl ring.
Come on, man. I mean, that's okay. I mean, the Patriots got a ring they didn't deserve. When the Seahawks, when they didn't give the ball to Marshawn Lynch, I mean, how many teams?
Actually, the Patriots got 2 rings because they should not have beaten Atlanta when they were losing 28-3.
Well, and honestly, they shouldn't have beaten Carolina. John Casey kicked the ball out of bounds and gave them the ball at the 40-yard line. So, you know, that's it, man. It's like you got to come on game day. It's like this is Super Bowl.
Yeah, you got to bring it on game day. But right. those Super Bowls with the Giants, there was more the defense that kept them in the game than it was Eli Manning putting on a showcase of a quarterback. It's usually that there was really nobody that was head and shoulders above everybody else. So what do? We just give it to the quarterback. MVP.
Well,
okay.
I will say, right. Well, he was the best player on the field, the best individual player on the field during those Super Bowls, though. I think he earned it. But it wasn't. Had 2 drives. He had drives when he needed them, clutch completions when he needed them in the biggest game of the year. And that's what it's Super Bowl MVP. That one game, he was magnificent. That playoff season, those 2 playoff seasons, he was magnificent.
Yeah.
He came through those big games. He's a better big game quarterback than Peyton. A big game quarterback, he was better than Peyton in big games.
Well, Peyton. Well,
right, yeah.
You could say he was a big game kind of quarterback. I could give you that. Yes, I can agree with that.
Peyton Manning, we got to remember, he was 1-7 times in the playoffs.
But when you look at his career as a whole, but when you look at his career, but when you look at his career, but he won 2 also. But he won 2 also.
Yeah, winning what, 13 games a year and then fizzling out in the playoffs?
I understand, but
he was the first quarterback ever to win a Super Bowl in a postseason when he threw more interceptions.
But I want my team. But I want my team to be able to be in contention year in, year out, not every 5 or 10 years.
Hey, you know what? Be in contention means what? You're just kind of in the dance and you just sort of, whatever.
But you have a chance.
But
so you're saying there's a chance.
Rex Grossman in the Super Bowl.
So you're saying there's a chance. So you're saying there's a chance. You're saying there's a chance.
So speaking of which, of players that didn't have winning records, right? I was at this coaching in service here this past couple of weeks ago, right? And they bring in the head coach of this team brings in an NFL player, right? Trying to talk to us about a winning mindset. Okay, so they bring in Kwame Cavill from the Bills, right? And so this dude's open here talking about having a winning mindset, and I was the only one looking around going, did he have a winning mindset on the Bills?
I'm not quite sure which era did he play in. Is he on the team now?
No, he's not. He played.
He played with Jim Kelly. What did
let me look.
Winning mindset with four straight Super Bowls. Did you win them? No, we lost them. But the thing is that we
Bruce Smith talked about. And by the way, everyone should see that documentary, The Four Falls of Buffalo. It's beautiful. It'll bring you tears.
But this is the point, right? So this guy played. He was undrafted. Okay.
Yeah.
undrafted. He signed with the Bills for the 2000 season. And then went to Canadian football.
So he was in the wake of the Jim Kelly era. Yeah, because the Jim Kelly era was the early 90s.
Yeah.
So he was in the he was in the Buffalo Wilderness.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he was trying to talk to us about a winning mindset, and I was the only one looking around going, "What winning mindset?"
I think what it is probably what you had is a guy who probably was able to achieve above what his God-given talent was, and that's what he's talking about. It's just a never say die type of a thing.
You mentioned that. You mentioned that he was undrafted.
Yeah.
So he made it. He made the team as an undrafted player. So that's a winning mindset. You know, don't be discouraged because you're not drafted. Don't be. You keep on fighting for your success. And I mean, he made it to the CFL, but still he played professional football.
Right.
That's true.
You know, so it is a positive mindset. So it's still a winning mindset.
Okay. Yeah, that's okay. When you go 3-30 for Waco, that's pretty cool too. As a coach. Ha! No, I'm just kidding. He was cool. But he definitely was the guy where it's kind of like it's the pedigree. I guess getting to the league is cool, but if you want to like talk about a winning mindset and winning the big games, it might help to win the big games.
Well, I could say it's more not about the winning mindset, but just the never say die type of a thing.
Yeah, but that's not what he was preaching.
Yeah,
he was preaching the winning mindset.
See, if I'm the one preaching the winning mindset, I think the winning mindset starts with it's not about me, it's about us. We play for each other, we're together, win, lose, or draw. It's about us.
Yeah, we can roll with that.
About being together.
Yeah. Speaking of coaches with winning mindsets, right? Kyle Shanahan humbled himself this past week and admitted that the media got something wrong. That the car crash was in fact his fault, even though the media reported otherwise. Pretty good, huh?
Well, he had his cell phone in his hand, which that's supposed to be a ticket in and of itself, but he was not actually cited for that at the time of the crash for whatever reason. I don't know. They just, arbitrarily decide who's guilty of whatever. If you see a cell phone in the hand, you're supposed to get ticketed for that, but he didn't get that. There was a crash.
Hey, cops.
And they still didn't do anything.
Listen, cops don't do that. Okay, they don't pick and choose. Okay.
Oh, that's right.
Well,
that's right. Yeah.
Okay.
Cops.
I'm sorry.
Cops play by the book the whole time.
Here's the thing. I'm going to ask you a question, Charles. Does Kyle Shanahan look like you, me, or Justin?
He looks like the fella on the other end over there.
Okay,
so there
you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
I feel like neither.
So, so there you go. So there's your ticket. See, if he looked like me, he'd probably be arrested. They'll probably find a way to try to deport him, even though, I'm a U.S. citizen.
So you say, but go on.
And if he looked like you, he'd probably be lucky to be alive. So I'm just saying.
I think I was talking on a stolen cell phone, right?
all because of a cell phone.
Right. Oh yeah. I know. And it turns out he actually was basically texting and driving and hit somebody. It took about 10 days for the report to even hit the papers. Remember, I think it was like on July 14th that it happened, and we didn't hear about it until July 24th, 25th, or something like that. So they kept the entire incident of an actual crash out of the newspapers or the Google, whatever you want to call it nowadays, away from the public. We didn't even know about the incident until 10 days afterwards.
Yet when you hear players, it's immediately they're already incarcerated. Right because they're a little bit their skin tone is a little bit darker than Kyle Shanahan's.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. Me
Hey,
too.
you know what? There's
got it.
mounting evidence. I try not to be that way, but sometimes, yeah, there's
It's
evidence, man. There's,
I'm
something.
just saying.
I think Justin needs to weigh in on this. He needs
Is
a
that
voice of
coincidence?
reason,
Okay,
we'll call it.
Justin, is that coincidence or is it what is
No,
it?
cops don't discriminate at all.
Okay, I just want clarification. I was just
There's a legal book that they all had to follow, and they follow it to the T, and they follow it no matter who you are.
okay. I just wanted some clarification. That's it.
Yeah, just want you to know that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, on different news, the league has been kind of dark actually this past couple of weeks. Right, we got former Patriot guard Jordan Devy died by suicide, 38. I think they deemed that to be CTE related. Then you got what?
Billy Ray Smith, the really kind of a legendary linebacker for the San Diego Chargers, and yeah, he passed away, and there was CTE involved there.
CTE, dementia. Amon Green came out and said he has Parkinson's, and that he has some issue with his short-term memory happening. He said it's absolutely trash, is what he was talking about, which he's joining Brett Favre in the Parkinson's group. Far as that.
Hold it. This leads to a discussion. Okay, and I've heard this when I was looking at some people online. They were talking about the whole thing of no medical coverage for NFL players. They should be covered. They're trying to say the owners are greedy and all this type of stuff. All right, look here. It's time to call the NFLPA on the carpet for this. And here's what I'm saying. You got the league making all these untold billions and billions of dollars. You got the NFLPA that is supposed to be on the side of the players. That's what they're there for. It's the players' union. They're supposed to do what's in best interest of the players. I believe they could have negotiated medical coverage into the CBA, but instead of that, they would rather enable, and I'm not saying Patrick Mahomes isn't worth the money, because if anyone is, he is. Instead of enabling someone like Mahomes to make $55 million a year, why don't you work medical coverage into the CBA? And maybe the top guys like the Mahomeses of the league, they make $35-40 million a year or something. Because, and I think it's going to take a mindset change amongst the players, because they got to remember, average salary in the NFL, so about $5 million a year. Average career is less than 5 years. So when you're in a union, you're putting yourself on the line just to enable the Mahomeses of the world to make all these ridiculous millions of dollars, when most of the league is average guys. 90% of the guys fall into that category. If you're going to be making $5 million a year or so, you'll be lucky if you play 4 or 5 years. The majority of the players should not be putting their future, everything on the line just to enable the top 10% of players to make ridiculous sums of money.
Yeah.
That's it. And once the players come together and realize they're sacrificing their own futures just to ensure that someone like Mahomes, Lamar Jackson, guys like that can make $55 million a year instead of $40 million a year, things are going to change.
Yeah, I agree. And honestly, that's the interesting that you point. These bigger players, right? But it's like, for me, Amon Green's one of the best running backs to play the game. Right.
Of course he is to you. I get it. Yes.
No, but but again,
who did he play for? Green Bay? Yeah, of course.
Yeah, okay. But you got to look at his playing style, right? I enjoyed the playing style. The point is, right, it's like Amon Green, he's not like an average Joe player though, right? He in no way, shape, or form was an average Joe player.
Right.
Right. So
yeah.
Right. So it's like someone like him is still in that boat with those guys versus the Patrick Mahomes type.
Right. Exactly.
But problem is that, like Charles was saying, the career of the NFL players, the average is 4 or 5 years max, tops. Of an average player. The owners are not gonna negotiate anything. Union is weak. The baseball union, the Baseball Players Association, is probably the greatest union in all of sports. They'll negotiate. They're not afraid to shut down. We'll shut down baseball. And they've done it in the past. If they can't come down and meet the terms of the players, and they've gotten better contracts. They've gotten better longevity. Even the minor league players that never make it back up to.
Oh, they have a great, once you play like 100 games, you're covered. I say this. Let me interject this here, E. I just want to interrupt you for just a sec. Here's the thing. When I look at the NFL, the problem is the salary cap goes up. They have no problem like dumping $20 million extra into the salary cap, every other year or every year rather, $20 million. But they won't. But so the owners are willing to go ahead and say, okay, we can spend $20 million more on the players. Why isn't that money going into some medical coverage at some point? Instead of just driving, every time there's extra money, drive the salaries through the roof. Every time there's extra money, why don't they get medical coverage in there? Instead of it just going to the players.
But that's what I'm saying. Even in baseball, they even have, so if a player reaches a 5-year in the major leagues, right? They reach a 5-year, they have control of where, if they get to be traded, not traded. So they have decisions that they can make. If they reach a 10-year mark, they get a pension. They have a pension after the 10 years. That's where those were items that were traded into their bargaining. Those were the players' associations that negotiated those contracts with the owners. This is what we want. This is what we're going to have. Get better salaries, better benefits, and no other sports like right now. The Players Association, what in the NFL, what are they doing? What do they negotiate?
So everything goes to salaries. That's all the NFL.
That's all they care for. Salaries.
Money comes in, it just goes to salaries. That's it.
We'll cap it off. We'll cap it off here, but we can use an example that we've had on the show, right? We had Coach Mack, right? Is that his dad had to create action figures to make a living right after leaving the league. Right. Versus, versus the other guys. So it's like, they even during that time, it's like these unions wouldn't even fight for, players like that who were, and again, Pat McAnally wasn't, he wasn't the average Joe player. But it's like even someone like him had to come in and build action figures and stuff like that afterwards to even survive outside of the league. Even
with their salaries, they still have problems with guaranteeing their salaries. There's only a portion of the salary that's guaranteed.
Yeah. Anyway, so here we go. Okay. Shocking news. You might be surprised, and I understand why if you're surprised that this player is hurt again. But Tua is out.
Not Tua.
Yeah, Tua. I know you're sitting there going, "Oh my gosh, Tua injured? What?" But he's out. So that's something to think about, right? Who would have thought about that?
Not for me anymore, baby. My Dolphins have moved beyond it. I'm fine to eat that cap money. And again, I remind everybody, Las Vegas Raiders opening day for them. I will be there in Vegas to watch my Dolphins play against the Raiders. And who knows? Maybe I'll see Fernando. Maybe he'll make an appearance. Maybe Cousins will get injured or something. Who knows? I saw Jared Goff throw his first ever pass when I went to a game of the Dolphins and the Rams at the Coliseum. I saw Jared Goff's first ever pass in the NFL.
I want Penix to change his name to Wana. So that way the two quarterbacks would be Wana and Tua.
Oh my God!
That was a bad joke. Anyway, moving on. On that note, moving on. Saints D tackle Brian Reese is out ACL. Jalen Polk, their receiver, retired. Tyson Hill. This one was a little bit shocking for me actually. Is Tyson Hill is not coming back. He decided not to return at all. And so that was kind of the Saints weapon.
Taysom Hill, the quarterback, the dual threat.
Yeah. Taysom. I always call him Tyson.
Triple threat. Yeah. But he's 40 years old almost already. Yeah, and he's not 38, 39.
He was really all they had going for him. This was actually kind of sad when Tyreek Hill, no power in his leg, remains out.
You got to remember when they say no power, it's relative. No power compared to the other one. Now, granted, he's got more power in his bad leg than probably all three of us put together. But it's
I agree.
By NFL standards.
Yeah, no, I agree. I agree completely. I understand with that one. It's just interesting. Ayuk is out. He's not in the conversation. But Debo.
Whose conversation? Who does he think wants him now?
Who's that? Who is that?
Okay.
Is that
All
a
right.
player?
I'm
Does
sorry
he
I
play
said
still?
anything. Okay. Moving on. Debo is back to the 49ers.
Yep.
Okay. Oh, this one was a
Diggs
good
is
one.
with
We
Diggs
predicted
with the
this one.
Commanders.
Yeah, we predicted this one a while ago. Aaron Donald is now seriously
Practicing with
thinking
them. He's
of it.
practicing with them team, so he'll be
He-
back, baby. He's gonna be back.
He's back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's back.
This one I'm excited because I think him and Miles Garrett again are going to be great. I don't like Aaron Donald that much, but he's a good player. And so I think them two on that line.
Oh, he's not good. He's great.
He's good.
I'm sorry, October 21st, I think it is, or maybe the 20th. I'll be at the Rams versus Cardinals game. I bet Donald will be playing by then. And from what I understand, I'm hearing little whispers that Baker Mayfield might be headed to Arizona if he can't get things squared away with Tampa.
That's good because
That
Carson
would be
Beck
fun.
Carson Beck is not doing that well right now. And then I forgot who the other guy they have is.
Oh, Jacoby Brissett.
Brissett.
Yeah, is it Brissett
in Arizona?
Yeah.
Yeah, Brissett.
Okay,
He's
that's
supposed
what
to be
I
the starter, so we know how that goes.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Well, he has no competition with Carson Beck. Carson Beck's not playing anywhere near where he did. Anyway, Kirk Cousins gets the nod over Fernando Mendoza.
As I predicted, as I called it.
And
even the team said that.
What Brady was talking about making sure that they don't put him in before he is ready. Right. So that was something that Tom Brady was pushing.
It's going to be at least 4 games.
Yeah, 5 games. Tony Romo, DUI.
DUI.
You
know what? No, wait a minute.
What, DUI? Do you mean do it yourself?
It's called an OWI now, right?
Yeah, operating while intoxicated. Yeah.
Yeah, right. They changed it so Gen Z has their own terms. You know?
Yeah.
So, anyways, he was driving while intoxicated, but I watched his broadcast last year. There's something wasn't right, and I don't think it's with Romo. I wouldn't be surprised to find out that he has a prescription medication problem than anything else, because I watched his broadcast last year. He just didn't seem right. Something's going on upstairs.
That's why he wears those. That's why he wears those Skechers slip-ons, like those slip-ins. So they just he doesn't have to bend over time; it just slips right into him.
Yeah. You know what? I guess Jessica Simpson did a thing on him, really damaged him.
Suppose.
Either that or that miss. Crap.
I don't know, Justin. What do you think, Justin? I don't know. Come on, man. Come on, Tony.
Yeah. Clowney is taking the clown show back to Houston because he's running away from the football. So found himself in Houston.
Tank Dell is back too.
My personal favorite to come across this past week is the Bears digressing. Their safety, Kobe Bryant is.
Don't you wish?
Out.
Don't you wish, Mr. Packer? Don't you wish?
They did extend the contract of their guard, but again, they are going backwards because they do have a major player out, and Illinois is going to do some damage on them.
Don't you wish? Them black polished nails is coming back to haunt you.
Hey, you know, the best story, though, we missed when we talk about Tony Romo and all that stuff with that. The best drunken story that we have over the last couple of weeks has to be Harrison Bader. The most beautiful hair in all of Major League Baseball. But what happens is he's been away from the team, I think, since May, because he's dealing with plantar fasciitis. So, of course, when you're away, you're just supposed to be rehabbing. So he decides he's going to go downtown and get wasted. So he rides a scooter downtown, gets wasted, and on his way back, so he don't want a DUI, but I don't know if there's anything for riding a scooter while intoxicated. He rides his scooter into the back of a fire engine, okay?
Yep.
A fire truck. He rode his scooter into the back of the fire truck, and that's not the best part. The best part is subsequently the truck backed up and ran over his injured foot. Then what happens is the Giants, they get word of it, and they suspend his pay for not properly rehabbing his foot. And it turns out this isn't the first time, because back when he was playing for the University of Florida, he did the same thing. Got drunk, got a scooter, rode it into the back of an F-150. I don't know what it is. The guy can see a 95-mile-an-hour little white dot coming at him, but he can't see a fire truck?
Yeah.
I don't care how wasted he is.
It's all relative. It's all relative at that point. Fire truck, baseball.
Yeah, sure.
It's the same thing. Fire truck, baseball is good.
And he's a great talent too. Great talent.
He is. And that hair is beautiful. I gotta say, that hair is just beautiful.
Yes.
But
We got
Stephon Diggs.
We got 5 minutes. We got to roll.
You missed Stephon Diggs. He's going to the Commanders. He's going to play with Jaden Daniels.
Yep.
What does that even matter?
Well, here's the thing. You know what Stephon Diggs did?
He's going to give him another target. You know, did you know that Stephon Diggs, and I was incredulous when I read this morning when I heard that he's going to the Commanders. He had last year with the Patriots, he caught 83% of his catches, highest in the NFL last year. At his age, old age, highest in the NFL.
And you know what they did? You know what they did?
They went to the
Super Bowl.
They replaced him. No, they replaced him with A.J. Brown, and now A.J. Brown's going to catch somebody's side chick on the Patriots. Okay.
So now he's going to say, okay, now I'm going to see how someone else likes it when I bang their side chick.
Yeah. Yeah.
Who's going to complain about it?
You think it's going to be the coach's side chick?
Could be.
Receiver?
Yeah. I mean, if they're all in that same interview, sure.
Oh, man. These guys, you know what? I mean, I don't want to be crass. These guys just need to leave these hoes alone. Seriously, man. I don't know how else to say it, guys. Let them bitches be. Just leave them alone.
All right, here we go. So, Bijan Robinson. I'm not going to say his name right because I refuse to.
Robinson.
Gets a deal. Gets a deal from the Falcons, right? And then Jalen Walker, torn ACL.
Yeah, I know. Yep, a lot of injuries. You know, there's been a lot of injuries in camp. I'm always surprised at how many happened like the first couple of weeks, but we haven't looked at the 49ers and their amount of injuries. They're right next to that electrical substation, and what that's about is those electrical fields have been known to basically degrade the collagen in your body, and that's what they're saying might be happening to the Niners with all those injuries over the years.
Really?
They have
next to that electrical substation. That's it. That's actually scientific.
They have like 20 injuries that been reported already. The Niners have.
Yeah.
So what's the score right now? Hall of Fame game. What's the score right now? Live.
It's I got a commercial. I'm watching a electric vehicle commercial right now. So here we go.
I don't do preseason football. I just don't.
Yeah, we'll come back to it.
I don't care if my practice squad can beat your practice squad. I really don't.
FIFA decided not to go ahead and bring in billions of dollars of outside money.
Private equity. Let's call it what it is.
I'm not
private equity.
I don't mess with the mafia. I don't.
Yeah. It turns out that the European, Football League had enough sway to essentially get them to go back in the deal.
Countries that said they were going to drop out of FIFA if they did it.
Yeah, there's the whole union. The whole union there said they were boycotting the World Cup. So that means we would have had another American World Cup.
And maybe then the USA could finally win one, right? If all the countries drop out.
Yeah, with the way Pulaski was playing.
SEC is also saying that they're gonna leave the NCAA.
That really?
and form their own.
Well, listen. Here's the deal with the NCAA, right? Is that they still can't figure out if they want to let 30-year-old players play in college still, right? So
They
it's
do.
like,
They do.
yeah. So it's like
They
they
just
can't.
got to make it sound legal.
Two things they can't figure out is if they want to let 30-year-old players play and if they want men to play in girls leagues. So let's get on with the NCAA. They're confused.
Well, how about my girl Sophie Cunningham?
When they were talking,
Sophie can't.
Taking a stand for women's sports and getting booed by women because she's saying that women should be playing in women's sports instead of dudes in dresses.
Yeah.
And women are booing her because she's supporting women's sports.
Yeah.
What the hell?
Speaking of which, though, is that she was a high school football kicker.
She was, yes.
And she killed it. She had a boot. I was watching some highlights of her. She had a boot.
She's absolutely competitive. Absolutely. Love that girl.
But going back to the NCAA where they were talking about 8-year eligible players, right? Eligibility for 8 years. I'm like, 8 years in college? It instantly made me think about, you ever watch that movie Grown Ups?
Yeah.
When the kid, it's like the 5-year-old kid is on the mom's breast, and they're like, and how old is that kid? Oh, he's 86 months old.
Yeah. Well, okay, so here's the joke with this one, right? Is that they made a movie, right? Van Wilder. Look at Van Wilder, right?
Yeah.
And that was the whole joke. He's been in college for the better half of a decade, and it's like that was the But now you're looking at this and you're like,
Tommy Boy, that's what it was about.
Or
been
Billy.
In college for
7
years, I think.
Yeah, then you have Billy Madison who has to go back all the way through to school.
Yeah.
But that's the point. That's the point. At what point do we draw the line? Like it's like they just reclassed the 2022 class, so they could play for 6 years. And then it's like they're still trying to figure out. It's like, even in my opinion, 5 years is too much, right?
But it is. But these are players to me. But and this is me just speculating. I'm not saying. To me, these are players about the insecure about the money that they're not going to make or the careers that they're not going to have in the NFL, and with all this money that they're making in the NCAA now. So now they have more years of eligibility because now they can make $2, $3, $4 million a year while playing college football. So now I'm just securing my future. Now I come out and be a backup quarterback or play in the CFL, but I already made my money, so I'm good. Because I know that I'm not going to be good enough to play in the NFL or be a starting quarterback in the NFL, so I'm going to make my money in college. That's all it's about.
I don't blame the players for doing it. If you're going to pay me $4 or $5 million a year to play at a lower level, I mean, I'll take it. Versus, I know I go to the NFL. But here's one training camp and done.
So here's the argument here, though, is that this was the argument back in I'd say about 10, 15 years ago, right? Is that the argument was that this would open up a door if, essentially a whole just Pandora's box if you let the money come into college, right? Which is why the money stayed out of college for so long. It's the fact that nobody wanted this door to open, right? And that was back then. It was you play and you go to the league, and then you work to make the money in the league, right? That was the deal. And it was like, well, they have all these hours of playing football in college. It's like, well, that's cool, but you're choosing that, right? You're choosing that life. You sign up to be on the team, and there you go. You're working up to make the big bucks, right? This was to prevent what we have here, this problem, which is 30-year-old people playing college football.
Well, and I look at the whole thing of NIL has been just so twisted into, it was never supposed to be just about complete, just open sponsorship of sports programs. It's supposed to be name, image, likeness. That means if he is a football star, he can get paid for selling his jersey or whatever. The problem is that you look at every team and across college sports, football, basketball, whatever, how many guys are on any team that could actually truly benefit from their name, image, and likeness? Maybe 2 or 3? But instead, it's just turned into get someone to dump $40 million into their football program and just spread it out amongst the players.
Yeah.
under
But look at
NIL.
but look at look at the coaches though. Look at the salary of the coaches.
Yeah,
They
sure.
go way up. Like I know the last game with Indiana when they were talking about the salaries that those coaches had, and you're just sitting there going,
Mhm.
"What coach should be making that much money?"
And even then, the coaches look at what's his name from left to LSU. He leaves Ole Miss in the middle of the playoffs.
Yeah, Lane Kiffin. Yeah, Lane Kiffin.
Yeah, Lane Kiffin to go take a job with LSU, his dream job. He always leaves one job for the other, and it's his dream job. You think I would trust my kid to a coach like that? I know you're not going to be there. No, sir. My kid's not going to play in your program because you're not going to be there. I don't know if you're going to be there tomorrow, next week.
Well,
I don't know. You're going to be gone.
Let's be clear about what your dream job is. I know what Justin's dream job is. His dream job is one that'll pay him 4 times as much as he's getting right now.
Right?
You're right.
That's a dream job right there.
Dream job,
And you know what? Easy would.
That sounds like a dream job right there.
Right.
Yeah. Easy would benefit because he wouldn't have to watch my class anymore.
You say he wouldn't have to wash your car anymore?
He wouldn't have to watch. He wouldn't have to watch my class anymore.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Yeah.
I was interrupt Easy E because it's like I drink a lot of water, so I always had to knock on his door and ask him to watch my class while I use the restroom.
Now this you're down the hall, so you're gonna have to bother somebody else.
Yeah,
Bother
I
Mr.
know.
Fink.
I know. I'm gonna call you. Get you on the cell phone. I'm gonna call you on the cell phone.
No. Hell no.
All right. On the last
We're
point,
rapping about modern technology, man. Come on, you can't be doing that.
on the last point, because we've exceeded our 45 minutes here, is that LeBron moves to the Sixers to be their point of ticket sales.
No.
Point of ticket sales?
Yeah, because they had to bring him in.
What he wants to do, here's what's going to happen. He wants to go to the Sixers. One, he probably wants another ring, which would make it like unprecedented, kind of a ring here a ring, there a ring, everywhere a ring. But also, I bet he wants Bronny to play with him there. He's going to get Bronny to come along. I guarantee you Bronny's going to suit up a game for the Sixers at some point. Don't no one else want Bronny? He'll wind up there. And it would be incredible, even though I'm not really a big LeBron James fan, but if he got rings with the Cavaliers, the Heat, the Lakers, and the Sixers, and especially when you look at the Sixers, because he'd be resurrecting them. They haven't had a ring since 1983. So,
Yeah.
Hey, and the Cavaliers got their only ring because he was there. And he also brought the Lakers kind of out of the shadows, got a ring there. If he was able to resurrect the Sixers, then, he still ain't as good as Jordan, but he would be able to actually, people could sort of argue about the LeBron effect, I suppose.
Honestly, I don't see the Sixers even contending for a ring this year. I don't see it. I do not see it. They might make the playoffs, but they're out in the first, maybe second round. They're out. They're not going to be like you have to have chemistry. You can't just put a team together and LeBron is not in his 20s or early 30s. He's in his 40s. Yes, he's a good, still plays at a high level and can be a good third option, fourth option, whatever the case is. But I don't see him fitting him and Embiid, because Embiid is a give me the ball type of guy. Maxey is a great player. Maxey is their star to me.
Yeah.
That's their best player. I think they upgraded with adding Jaylen Brown, which I don't know what Boston was thinking. They just gave him Jaylen Brown.
Mm-hmm.
That was like a gimme. And I think Jaylen Brown and Max is going to be their 1-2 punch. But they have to get rid of Embiid, or Embiid change his mentality to know I need to take a step back. I'm not the guy. Let these two guys handle it. Those are the two top stars. If he can swallow his pride, sit back and let them. But he thinks he's still the big man on campus.
Hey, what's Kyrie Irving doing? A little reunion there in Philly.
All right, 30
Irving
seconds,
and
guys.
LeBron,
30
they never
seconds.
should have been
30
separated.
seconds.
So yeah,
I
30
don't,
seconds. That's it.
Kyrie, I don't,
30
I don't,
seconds.
I don't think Kyrie Irving is. I don't think. I don't see it. I do not see it.
All right.
We'll
On
see
that
y'all
note,
next week, people. Yeah.
note, LeBron James may or may not cry himself into another ring. Yes. We will see you later. Thank you for watching. We apologize for being gone for so long. It's just the way that the world worked. You'll find us on Facebook, YouTube, Rumble.
Write it down,
that's
man.
it.
Write it down.
And that's
Have
it.
a
We will
list.
see
Have a
you
list right
later
there.
on T.D.G.S. Sports.